Hello. Thank you for coming to our session this morning. My name is Tom, and I have the fortunate position of being the course manager of the foundation degree in Tourism Park Management, a course for people from both residential and holiday parks, which is run with support from the BH&HPA. I say fortunate because I get to work with some of the most amazing people in the industry, 3 of whom have joined me today. So please sit back and relax as they take you through their personal journeys.
Hello everyone, my name is Isabelle and I'm the 3rd generation, seen here with my grandfather, of my family-run park business in the northwest of England. You will all know my father from his star performance on this stage yesterday, and funnily enough, I don't ever get time for questions either. My role is best described as general dog's body, and therefore my skills include everything from scrubbing toilets to knowing everything about anyone at any given moment, and most importantly, interpreting the interestingly communicated instructions from my boss. I've been involved in the park for most of my life, but working full-time for the last 8 years. Over this time, I've been involved with all areas, from dry stone walling to checking tours in, from housekeeping to devising a marketing strategy, or attempting to.
I'm Sophie. My father, who you will know as Andrew Baragwanath, your national chairman, owns Ayr Holiday Park in St Ives, Cornwall, which was founded by my great-grandparents back in the 1960s. I grew up on the holiday park and as a teenager began by doing a little bit of housekeeping and some reception work. I then branched out to work as a teaching assistant for several years before pursuing a career at sea as a yacht stewardess, where I gained a husband and subsequently settled back in my hometown of St Ives. On doing so, I began working for my father again in the hotel adjoining the holiday park. My role included reception work and then the overseeing of the housekeeping department. I'm currently about to start the final year of the foundation degree.
So why have we given you this background? We're trying to paint a picture of who we are and what experience we had prior to enrolling on the degree course, as well as why we wanted to embark on it. My motivation behind starting the course was identifying the need for more industry-specific and business operational knowledge. I had studied biomedical sciences at university, which, as you can imagine, is pretty useless, and unexpectedly returned to the family business rather earlier than planned. I got sacked. I had been round very few other parks and had very little knowledge of business. And with the diversification of one of our parks, I thought it was about time I started to learn a little bit more to be able to make a success of it.
I, on the other hand, didn't exactly choose to do the course. I was offered the chance to partake by my father, who saw it as an opportunity to equip me with the knowledge needed for a future career continuing the family business. Knowledge that would be greatly needed, as my career as a stewardess had given me great hospitality skills, an eye for detail and people management skills, however, no business management skills whatsoever. The offer was made 2 years ago, only a few weeks before the course was due to start. What a great opportunity. However, I cannot say that my future career was my main focus at this time. So that was when I announced my pregnancy to my father. Probably, I thought, not the ideal time to embark upon a foundation degree. However, he assured me it would be fine and that the tutors would be completely happy for me to bring the baby along to the sessions. Fortunately, as it turned out, thank you, Tom, they were. They were very accommodating.
So what's involved? Well, the degree itself takes 3 years. It's split into 4 units per year, all of which are held on caravan parks up and down the country and outside of the general peak season. Each unit involves a few days of topic-related learning, followed by discussions of that unit's assignment. The sessions do tend to be discussion-led as well, where the concepts are applied to the parks industry. So don't think you'd be sat staring at a screen for 3 days. The assignments themselves come in many different forms, offering varied and diverse learning. This includes written reports of no more than 3,000 words, individual and group presentations, and creating an academic poster. As a rule, there are 2 assignments per unit, but some of these are completed during the course weeks, for example, the IOSH qualification in the health and safety unit and the group presentation during the marketing unit. Students have between 4 and 6 weeks to complete the assignments following the unit, but there's always space for flexibility depending on timings and personal circumstances. The assignments themselves are always based on a park and therefore offer excellent transferable knowledge to feed directly into your park business. For example, devising a marketing strategy for the marketing unit and having to do a health and safety audit for the health and safety unit. So it's all very useful. So how do we fit it in?
Working part-time during the first few modules, I had plenty of time to get stuck into the assignments. I devoted so much time to it that I wondered how on earth I was going to manage when the baby arrived. This took a bit of adjusting. I've done some assignments with baby in one arm, typing with the other, which is no longer possible with a very active toddler. I now find that it's just better to do the assignments in the evening, which still gives me plenty of time to complete them. This does not mean that for 3 years you'll be working every night. As Isabelle mentioned, there will be 4 modules a year, so following each of these, there'll be about 4 weeks when you'll be working on an assignment. I told myself when I started that I was not embarking on this course for academic glory or to be top of the class. I merely needed to garner the knowledge to effectively manage a holiday park, of which there's a whole lot more knowledge than I thought there could possibly be to learn. And what's more, I'm really enjoying it.
My boss is a bit of a slave driver, so I have to do most of the assignments in the evening and any spare pockets of time that I can find. As a rule, I tend to find that in a 4-week deadline period, I need a couple of evenings a week to do the assignments. I've probably taken up an hour or 2 of work time on each assignment too, but I hadn't told him about that. Until the last few units, I have been very haphazard with my approach, grabbing an hour or 2 where I could. But I found that setting time aside and just focusing on that being an assignment night, I was able to work more efficiently, and I found that the course is far less onerous. But I have to agree with Sophie. I haven't embarked on this to boost my CV or fill the wall with another graduation photo, but to develop knowledge to effectively manage the parks. So why should you consider doing this course? It offers an excellent opportunity to network with people, learning from fellow students as well as the parks that we're fortunate enough to study on. It offers the opportunity to travel to parks that you otherwise wouldn't visit, nor would you probably make the time for all the park tours. Both Sophie and I have agreed that it opened our eyes to how diverse the park business is and how much there is to learn. Everyone is so different. The course offers knowledge which is slightly different to the day-to-day knowledge, such as safe sighting and understanding industry regulations. This is more about the business strategy and actually management of a family business. It helps us understand how to be proactive rather than reactive. We're all guilty of having the grand plan stuck inside our heads, but never written down.
So, of course, there are some disadvantages, as there are with everything. We're not going to let you talk yourselves out of it again, though. So here's a rundown of what the downsides are. Number 1, having to find the time. Well, we've both told you how we managed it, so it is possible. Secondly, some of the units may not feel relevant, but have to be included because it is a higher learning syllabus. Whilst you may question when you will ever use your newly discovered research skills from Unit 6, everything helps us develop our own understanding of our businesses, and no lesson in life is a bad one. Lastly, the course is part-time, and when there's a long break during the summer, which is actually an advantage, as you all know, a very busy time for everyone, it can be hard work getting back into the swing of it, especially remembering IT passwords to access online portals. However, the college has an IT department who'll soon get you up and running again. So who does the course? The cohort that I'm part of is a diverse mix geographically, ranging from Scotland right down to Cornwall. There's a combination of current park owners, the next generation from family parks, and even 3 people who work as managers or assistant managers for a group of parks. It's really great to see not only park owners putting family members through the course, but also employees who can offer a valuable contribution to the future of the business.
My group, who started last year in March 2019, includes 11 people ranging in age from 18 to 50 plus and covering a similar geography to Sophie's group. Many left education at 16 or didn't see studying as their forte, whereas others have degrees and one has even taught a degree herself. So we do have a range of skills. The overriding factor is that we are all in it together and we all bring different perspectives to the group. It isn't about the results from each assignment, but don't tell Tom that, as much as it's about the experience. We learn as much from the diverted conversations, both at breakfast and during the course days, about our individual parks, as well as we do from the unit topics itself. and we've also formed some excellent friendships. We have a WhatsApp group to discuss any problems we're having relating to the assignments, as well as any advice we need for the businesses themselves, so it stretches outside of the actual coursework. We've even started planning a mini study tour before one of the units to Scotland. So we're tripping round the parks in Cheshire, Lancashire, Yorkshire and Cumbria before arriving in Scotland for our course week. So we've tried to paint a picture of what the course is really like from a student's perspective and how valuable we think it is. We'll now hand over to Andy, who will tell you what it looks like 5 years on.
Thank you both. I'm Andy Walker from Treetops Caravan Park, and Facebook reminded me recently that I graduated some 5 years ago. I don't know where the time has gone. That means that if Isabelle is an enslaved dog's body, I must be the ghost of Christmas past. So before I tell you about my experiences on the foundation degree, I'd like to tell you a bit about my background and how I ended up there. So on a sunny day in Hull at the Lawns in 2010, Ros encouraged me to sign up. Now, in the run through this morning, I was told I wasn't allowed to associate her name with the image on the screen there. But I ended up in a third cohort. Some of you who know me will know that I am anything other than academic. I left school with an O-level. I did a stint in college and gained another O-level and a taste for Wrexham lager. I did go on to get some IT qualifications. I had a good IT career that lasted some 20 years. I worked for some great companies at a good time. I don't consider myself to be stupid, but academia and I do not get on. So from the minute I'd completed the application form, I have to say I had serious reservations. You know, what was a muppet like me doing who couldn't pass an O-level signing up for a course at this level? Anyway, I jumped in the car on a cold January morning in 2011, drove some 5 hours to my first week's tuition at Highlands End. And with huge trepidation, I quietly snuck into a training room where I met this lot and a few others. This really was the best picture I could find. It was a revelation. I was lucky to be in a group of incredibly strong characters. Some really bright people, razor-sharp wit, banter. They were, as sharp as a barracuda's front teeth. We were rarely stumped for conversation. And despite a huge range of ages and backgrounds, we clicked and we had a lot of fun. Now, Sophie and Isabelle have done a great job of explaining the mechanics of the course, but I'd like to give you a reality check. Like all learning, you can expect to enjoy some elements more than others. People use the 70-30 rule. But looking back after 5 years, I can tell you that liking and not liking elements of the course actually reflects your everyday life, especially in work. I remember the trauma of the statistics module. It was a module hated by all the students, and I don't think even Tom enjoyed delivering it. But it was a required module. We had to do it. We had to hand in an assignment at the end of it. And back in your businesses, you'll have jobs like this. Your lack of enjoyment doesn't make unpleasant tasks go away. You have to knuckle down and do them. And the course, I believe, will make you more resilient. It may even make you engineer out these tasks. One of the things I think that's often overlooked with the foundation degree is it teaches you to learn in a different way. The ability to research and build knowledge is a skill you will use in your business. And as an industry, we faced constant challenges and opportunities. I'm sure that having completed the foundation degree, we are all better equipped to deal with what's thrown at us. And so we graduated, and yes, that is my happy face. We got to wear the daft gowns, the funny hats. We took away not only certificates, some of us exercised our educational ghosts. We left with lifelong friendships and some amazing memories. I asked my fellow students for some feedback, and as usual, they had far too much to say. I could have filled slide after slide with positive comments. And their comments form a strong argument for anyone considering signing up. I'm not going to make you wade through all of that and read it. You can do later if you wish. I'll move on to a summary. Across the board, confidence and business benefits were core to their comments. There's also real evidence of business growth and personal development within businesses. This is not just a qualification for the sake of a qualification. It will return on your investment. And of course, lasting friendships, and a network of people you can call upon for support, advice, and ideas. You can't underestimate the value of this, and certainly to me, it's a key element. Nina Bruton from Bruton Solutions was on my cohort, and we've since formed a suite of successful Facebook groups together. We'd have never done that had we not met and developed a similar way of thinking. And over the 3.5 years, we visited some inspirational parks and businesses. So, to sum up, the foundation degree is both an investment in your business and yourself. Regardless of your previous academic achievement, I'd highly recommend it to anyone, possibly more so if, like me, you didn't reach your full potential in school. You've seen the comments from my cohorts. There are many business and personal benefits. To find out more, please talk to Tom afterwards. Thank you.